All right. I had to think about this. Bro. This was on my mind. If I'm not mistaken, we had to revisit. Devin Haney offered Shakur what? Devin Haney offered Shakur 25%. Actually, I got the wrong pitch in the background. But fuck it. Devin Haney offered Shakur 25%, if I'm not mistaken, right? Shakur turned down the 25%. But then I thought to myself, first I was looking at Shakur like, Shakur, why would you turn down 25%? You ain't really done much as far as belts, legacy, none of that shit. Glow, thanks for liking the live. But then I thought to myself, if Devin Haney really wanted that man, he would have did anything. Errol was willing to do anything to get Terrence Crawford. He gave up the 50-50. But Devin, when Shakur didn't go for the 25, he didn't try to renegotiate. That tells me what? That at that time, at that moment, Devin Haney doesn't want that fight. Some people, like Tank is the man. Tank had these fights going on right now. He could fight Devin tomorrow. He could fight Shakur tomorrow. He's the money man, right? Devin could have renegotiated with Shakur. Why didn't he? And that's why I named this live, Devin Haney salutes Shakur Stevenson. Because what's going on right now in the boxing world, in the lightweight division is two lions looking at each other. Three lions looking at each other from different posts. And they're understanding that if I get into the war with this lion, it could get dirty. It could get ugly. I may lose a limb. I may lose my pride. I may lose everything. So Devin Haney, at the end of the day, even though he sent Shakur the offer, he was relieved when Shakur didn't take the 25%. And it's not because he don't think he could beat Shakur, but he knows that would have been the toughest fight of his fucking career. And that would have been the fight where he has the most chance of losing. Because of the sparring history, you can go look at the sparring sessions. Most of the time, Shakur got the best of Devin Haney. So I was thinking about that. I had to revisit that, man. I had to revisit that. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Give your opinions on this topic. If you want to come up, make sure you hit the little guest link down low. But it's my opinion that Devin Haney, he understands the threat that Shakur Stevenson is, and he also understands that it was best for him not even to take that fight when Shakur turned down 25%. Haney would fight Shakur at 140. I mean, Haney would have fought Shakur at 135. He sent him an offer. So it's not necessarily about the weight. But when Shakur turned down the offer, Haney could have renegotiated. If he really wanted the fight to happen, it happened. Errol Spence proved this. Errol Spence was a bigger name, bigger star, way bigger pay-per-view star, way bigger fan base, bringing in more money than Terrence Crawford. But he gave Terrence 50-50 because he wanted Terrence. Errol was a real dog. Errol wanted Terrence up on his wall and shit. He wanted to hang Terrence Crawford on his wall and say, I conquered that man. So Errol gave up everything he could just to make the fight happen. Devin could have did it. The offer was never real, but Shakur should have called his bluff. Thank you. I think the offer was real, but Shakur, he should have took it. But when he didn't take it, Devin could have renegotiated. But Devin, neither Bill wanted that fight at that particular time. Elvis Sanchez, thanks for liking the live. Everybody in here, make sure y'all tapping the screen, liking the live, pushing the live. And if you want to come up and give your take, go ahead, because I'm only going to be up for about 20 minutes. It wasn't Bob Arum said it was never real. Look, if you trust Bob Arum, that's on you. I don't trust a motherfucking thing. And I damn sure don't trust Bob Arum. I damn sure don't trust a word to come out Bob's mouth. You know why? Bob about his money. He has an agenda. Like I have agendas, like you have agendas, so I don't trust shit. Devin KO Shakur if Shakur comes to fight. I disagree. Shakur Stevenson has shown that he has magic feet. He could tap dance in the ring. So if anything, I think maybe Tank could knock out a Shakur, maybe. But even Tank will have a hard time because Shakur has such great footwork. Hey, Scooby, what's good? What's good? Jerry Jig, what's up, man? Hey, Jerry, come on up, man. If you want to hit the link, come on up. I'm talking about this thing I realized when it comes to Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. Devin could have renegotiated with Shakur. First, I was looking like, man, Shakur should have took 25%. But then it dawned on me. Errol Spence didn't have to take 50-50 with Crawford, but Errol wanted to fight so bad he made that shit happen. So then I started to think like, damn, maybe Devin and Bill, they really didn't want that fight at that particular time. And it makes sense. They made the right career move because Devin is only getting better and better as a boxer, especially at 140. At 140, he looking damn unstoppable at 140. He started his campaign at 140 with flying colors. Devin said he would make 20 mil versus Shakur, but Bob Arum only gave Bud 6 mil to fight Porter. Listen, we already know what Bob Arum is about, especially when it comes to the black, Negro, African American, whatever you want to call us. We know what Bob Arum is about when it comes to that type of fighter. So that's why it was never real. Money in the way of these good fights. No, money is not in the way of these good fights. Errol Spence showed y'all. Look, Errol get all the respect in the world from me. Did he get his ass whooped? Yeah, but it happens. It's boxing. Some of your favorite boxers ever have gotten their ass whooped. But Errol made the fight happen that everybody wanted to see. He gave up everything he could to make the fight happen. He was an A side. And Crawford won at 50-50. Errol could have said no. He could have been a diva. He could have been like, nope. But he made that fight happen. Jerry Jake, thanks for the gift, man. Appreciate that. I like Frank Martin versus Rayo next. Yo, Frank Martin versus Rayo would be great. Rayo versus Cruz would be a fire fight. I can't wait to see those fights. Been hearing Goofy say Manny was top 5. No, Manny isn't top 5 at all. He's just not. Manny is not a top 5 all-time fighter. Like, bruh, Manny Pacquiao, hey, Jerry J, I appreciate it, man. Manny Pacquiao almost lost his life in the ring against Marquez. Top 5 fighters, that doesn't happen. Like, Manny Pacquiao's fundamentals, especially defensively, horrible. But Manny is still an all-time great fighter. It's just that he was extremely flawed. You could never put him in the top 5. That's like some people got Ali in their top 5. I could not put Ali in my top 5. Too many flaws. What are we talking about? What's the topic of today's live? Well, what we was talking about was this. I believe that Devin Haney and Bill Haney didn't want that fight with Shakur at the time. I believe that Devin Haney and Bill Haney did not want to fight with Shakur Stevenson at that time period, bro. Even though they sent Shakur an offer, because when Shakur turned down the offer, you could renegotiate. That's what Errol Spence did. Errol Spence gave up everything in order to make that fight happen because he wanted Terrence Crawford on his wall. He wanted to conquer him and put him up on his wall. He wanted him to be a relic, you know what I mean? A memory. So Errol Spence is a real conqueror. He's not just in it for the money, for the fame. Not to say that Devin Haney's in it for that stuff, but Errol truly wanted to fight that man. And when one man truly want to fight another man, the fight happens. When Shakur turned down Haney, which he shouldn't have done, Haney could have renegotiated if he was really on a hunt, if he was really on a prowl. But I believe Haney and Bill, when they saw that Shakur turned it down, they was like, okay, cool. Let's move on because that's a dangerous fight right now anyway. And let's continue to grow. And that's what they're doing. Haney looks more dynamic. He looks stronger, bigger, more of a threat now at 140 than he ever looked like at 135. But I still had to make mention of the fact that he really didn't want that fight at the time when he sent it to Shakur. It's like he wanted it, but nah. Because if he really wanted it, it would have happened. He would have said, oh, you want 25? I give you 30. What, you want 35? You want 40? Fuck it, I give you 50-50. Because after this, I'm going to show the world that you're not on my level. That's what Errol Spence attempted to do, although he was unsuccessful. Bill trying to build a fan base. Devin Haney already has a fan base, but they're not buying the fights. You know what I mean? They're not buying the fights. And that's not just because Devin is a born fighter. We're in the age of streaming. We're in the age of piracy. So a lot of people aren't buying nothing nowadays. A lot of movies, a lot of good directors, they're not making money in the box office because people are just going ahead and streaming shit with that Fire Stick. So Devin has to do more outside of boxing like Floyd did. You know what I mean? Devin has to get seen in different spots outside of boxing because his talent in the ring, it isn't something that jumps off the screen. You know, he's not Roy Jones. He's not Tank Davis knocking people out. So and most people don't grow up watching boxing in America. They watch football and basketball. So that means the average intellect when it comes to the sport, you know, the general population is low right now. This is not the 50s and 60s. Even in the 70s, more people knew about boxing. Nowadays, like Roger Mayweather said, rest in peace, most people don't know shit about boxing. Right now, most people don't know shit about boxing. So Haney has to do things outside of boxing and get his name around so people will want to buy them fights. That's all. But he's an entertaining fighter. He showed that in the Regis Prograis fight. He showed that in the Lomachenko fight. Anybody saying Sugar Ray Robinson is #1 is just repeating what they heard. Use context and you'll see how wrong. Look, skill for skill, Sugar Ray Robinson, one of the best fighters you could see. I went on YouTube and watched his fights. Sugar Ray Robinson, his timing, impeccable. His ability to knock a guy out from the inside, mid-range, and outside, unbelievable. Sugar Ray Robinson's speed, he was extremely fast in his heyday, still pretty fast as he aged. His offensive genius, the way that I look at Sugar Ray was an offensive genius in the way that Floyd was a defensive genius. Sugar Ray also had power in both hands. He was huge for a welterweight. The man was damn near 6 foot tall. And then he finished his career at middleweight, collecting multiple belts. And he was a superstar too. His grace in the ring, Sugar Ray could knock you out on the back foot. You know how hard it is to knock somebody out moving backwards? He could do that. Sugar Ray was a black fighter. Usually black fighters at the top of the boxing world, they don't throw flurries and shit. Sugar Ray Robinson could throw flurries, meaningful flurries, and knock you out with it. But he also could pot shot. Like the way he knew how to hit, the way that he fought and the clinches, everything. Sugar Ray was a bad motherfucker. If you watch the footage, it's footage of Sugar Ray doing the shoulder roll on the ropes. He was extremely skilled. Where do you put Floyd? I put Floyd as number 1. And the crazy thing, all those vids you see of Sugar Ray are out of his prime. Yeah, most of his prime footage, you can't find it. It exists. I know it exists, bro. One of those Italian mobsters. Yes, I said Italian. I don't give a damn. One of them Italian mobsters got his footage somewhere in somebody's basement, bro. That's just probably over in Italy somewhere. But it exists. I think Tank will have trouble with Devin. At 140, Tank will lose to Devin, I believe. At 135, Tank should have forced that fight. He should have fought Devin earlier rather than later. Because Tank had an experience edge. And Devin was struggling to make 135. Tank 5'5", he wasn't struggling to make 135. So he should have forced that fight on Devin. At 140, Devin looking dangerous, bro. Tank struggled with Barrios. I done said this shit over and over. Devin is Barrios with better natural athleticism, better footwork, better boxing craft. When I say he's Mario Barrios, I said Barrios, but when I say he's Barrios, I'm talking size-wise. Devin is a big boy. Big boy. Some may even say he's a weight bully. So at 140, Tank, that's a threat, man. I can't just say that, yeah, Tank gonna knock Devin out. No. Tank and Calvin know that Devin is a threat at 140. He just is. Frank Matthews should fight Tank. I don't think Tank is all that good. Oh, no, you tripping. Tank a beast. So you think Dev going to fight Tank in 2024? No, I don't. I don't know how people think Ryan has a chance against Haney. Ryan does have a chance. He has a hooker's chance. That sounds funny, don't it? But Ryan has a hooker's chance. Why this boxer becoming Muslim? If Tank wants to become Muslim, he's my brother. I support it. Me personally, I'm not Muslim, but if you want to become Muslim, that's his business. And guess what? The Muslim culture, they have certain systems and laws that I agree with and that I like. So shout out to Tank. Look at the way Ryan throws punches. Let me tell you, Ryan throws punches with bad technique, but Ryan's hook is dangerous. We got a guest that's coming on up. Come on, oh Jerry, J. What's up, Jerry?
What's up, Bo?
Hey man, what you think, man, about my assessment on Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney not really wanting that fight at the time that he sent the contract out?
I mean, bro, I don't think Haney wanted it as bad as Earl wanted it, bro.
I think you might have to mute your thing because it's repeating. It's echoing. You hear the echo?
Hold up, bro.
He'll be back. He'll be back. Worst thing about casuals nowadays, they act and talk with confidence but say the dumbest shit. Well, casuals are great for the sport.
I don't know.
Did you get it under control, man?
I don't know what's going on. I ain't trying to ruin your live, bro.
No, you can't ruin my live, man. I'm be up here. I'm gonna try to be up here for about 10, 15 more minutes. I got something to do. NBA 2K24 was good.
What's good?
Hey man, so I'm gonna make this point. I want to ask y'all this. Jerry J already said it. He agreed with me, but I don't think that Bill and Devin really wanted that fight with Shakur when they sent the offer out, because when Shakur turned it down, they didn't try to really renegotiate. Like Errol Errol gave Terrence Crawford 50-50 that Terrence didn't even deserve it when you look at the business aspect of boxing. But Errol wanted to fight him so bad and to make history so bad, he sacrificed. And he gave the fans what we all wanted to see. Even though in hindsight it made Errol look bad, we still could respect him for that. I think that Haney and Bill at the time, when Shakur turned the offer down, they was like, a little bit relieved. Not saying that they were scared, but it was better for Haney to continue on the path he was going as opposed to fighting Shakur, who might have beat him, especially at 135, where Haney was already struggling to make weight.
Nah, that's a fact. Straight fact.
Yeah, man. So what's y'all thoughts on that, though?
Haney was not dying to make that fight. He wasn't tripping. He wasn't losing sleep over that fight. He maybe wanted it, but Earl, I think it was bothering Earl that he wasn't undisputed. He really wanted that more than anything.
Yeah. I don't even think Earl wanted to be undisputed when you listen to Earl. I think Earl wanted to be in history books of having a super fight or a mega fight because that's what people remember. Like Earl, nobody. It's sad that he got tore up, but nobody's ever gonna forget the fight between Earl and Terrence. I wish that it was more, back and forth, even though it was one sided. But that's what people remember in boxing legacy. There's been many great champions. Most of them, nobody even mentions them to this day. Like guys who fought in the 1900s and shit, nobody mentions them. But when you get to match up against another great fighter, you get talked about for ages, man.
Exactly. Spot on. But I don't know, man. I don't think Haney beats Tank, bro. I'm a Haney guy. I'm not a
You
TMT.
don't think Haney beat Tank?
I don't. It's hard to stay away from that.
Cannot beat Tank. I don't know. Tank might knock him out.
Look. At 135, I think Tank would have knocked Haney out because there's no way that you're going to be struggling to make weight and you go up against somebody like Tank Davis who has the skills to pay the bills as well as dynamite in both hands. But at 140, that man power looking different, his body looking different. And remember, I done made this point 100 times now. Tank was losing to Mario Barrios on the cards before he was finally able to catch up with the power. Because Barrios, the size, the length, and shit like that, the boxing ability, Tank is a guy that don't even throw that many punches. So Devin is that same size as Barrios, but Devin has fast feet. He could get in and out. So now Tank gotta chase him around the ring and shit. Next thing you know, 8-9 rounds go by, Tank is losing. What happens if he doesn't get the knockout?
Man, Tank, bro. Tank is a knockout artist. He's literally elite. He's up there with the best. I think with a rehydration clause, I hate the rehydration clause, but at 40, I think Tank gets him with the rehydration clause. I hate to say
Why would Tank be allowed to get a rehydration clause?
They might fight at a catch weight, I think.
I don't want to see a catch weight.
No, I want to see a catch weight, but because Devin already said he's not doing a rehydration clause. But really, if Tank is a knockout artist that you claim he is, and if he's a superstar that we believe him to be, he should just go up to 140 and fight Devin straight out. When Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, Floyd was an old ass man. Floyd was 36. Do you understand that the weight class that he was fighting at was 154? Floyd didn't even make 154. He weighed in at 152, right? And he didn't gain no weight after that because he was in such great shape. Canelo came to the fight on fight night around 165.
See, that's what I was talking about yesterday on live. I think Tank Davis is just short balling himself. I think Tank Davis don't need all these rehydration clauses. I don't think he needed it against Ryan.
He didn't need it against Brian.
He did not need it.
He did not need that shit against Brown. All it did was take away from his victory. But you know why he did it though? Because in the Barrios fight, he was on the verge of losing. He struggled because of Barrios' size. So he was worried about it. Tank is a guy that got a lot of talent, but he be having a lot of mental worry and shit. Like he wanna, some people that they be worried, but then once they get out there, like I don't know if y'all, maybe you was on the football team or the basketball team, whatever sport you played. It's some people that before the game, you see they biting their nails. They're like, damn man, I don't know how I'm gonna do. Then they go out there and they do great.
That's what I'm doing.
That's Tank. Tank one of them. Like he gets super nervous before these fights, man. Even though he talented as shit. That's what I think.
How you feel about Tank anyway, man? I don't like entertaining that conversation.
Hell no. Anyway, too small. I said it yesterday.
Anyway, don't fight Camille Moulton. I want to see that fight.
He gonna
they ever fight.
I don't think they're gonna work. I don't think they're gonna look. Most boxers start to break down after a certain age. And you were already like 31 or 30 or something like that. Moulton just getting started. So unless they feed anyway to Moten 4 or 5 years from now, when Moten is coming into his own, it's not gonna happen. And I doubt that they would do that because a lot of times they protect some of these other fighters. You know what I mean? It's a Manny Pacquiao was supposed to Ben fight Terrence Crawford at welterweight, but that fight never happened. So they like to protect certain guys from certain regions,
Yeah.
certain nationalities.
Yeah, I feel that.
Hey, Michael, thanks for the gifts, man.
I don't like entertaining the conversation of Inouye Tank, man. I really don't.
Oh. My slogan is when it comes to Inouye and Tank, Inouye just be in the way, man. Too small. Inouye
Yeah.
would be in the way, bro. Tank could sleep his ass. Too small. It sucks though. I wish Inouye was a larger
No.
man because all that money being left on the table.
Yeah.
I want to see Tank fight in his own weight class or move up. I don't want to see him beat up on a little guy like that, man.
Yeah. I need to see Tank go to 140, make these fights happen, and then go ahead and retire. Cause he don't seem like he want to be around long. He talented, but hey, fuck it. He could pull a Barry Sanders. If I was Tank, I would press for these fights right now because I said it in my last live. Tank really in his prime right now. He's an athletic fighter with skill, but this is the fastest he ever gonna be. He like 28, 29 years old. He's short. When he loses a step, it's going to reflect in his boxing game. So if I was him, I'd try to make them big fights happen right now, pull a Barry Sanders, retire, and then have everybody saying, damn, this might have been the greatest boxer we ever seen. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Before he starts, because once he starts slowing down, it's going to show so much because he got short arms and shit. And it look like he don't have the best metabolism. Like, he always got the chubby belly.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's a fact.
Yeah, so he might be on the verge of being, a fat boy once he retire, like in his 40s and shit. I hope he don't take that to prison I seen.
Nah,
That
for
boy
real.
grew up, boy.
Fighter.
Hey, I don't know if you seen my video. I talked about Tank and Sabril Matias. I think Tank beats that man badly, man. Badly.
Oh, I mean, I think he can knock Sabril out, but Sabril is dangerous. I look at him; he like a kamikaze type fighter. Like
Somebody to
he,
the hospital, I heard, or something like
oh
that.
no, he killed somebody. Sabril killed somebody.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that
he dangerous for sure.
fight.
And listen to the thing,
He
bro.
was fighting good.
Matthias, he let his
Matias.
hands go, and he doesn't have no. He's always going to be in position unless you. But Tank uses his feet though. That's the thing. Matthias is good against guys who can't move. Tank can move, but Matthias, he don't mind putting his body in physical harm, taking all type of punishment in order to land hard shots, bro.
I think
So
Tank
it's
gonna
like,
make him pay badly.
yeah, Tank. I mean, they say he already been dropped once, Matthias. So maybe Tank drop his ass, man.
I don't like the hype in him, bro. I ain't a big fan of him. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan of him.
I'm like,
Like
what?
the way that he fight, his style is great for boxing. Do I think he gonna go down as one of the great boxers skill wise? No. But that motherfucker show up on them Saturdays. He let them things go, and he talk all type of shit. But he speaks Spanish, so it don't have the same impact. But
Yeah.
I fuck with him, man.
Hey. I was telling my followers on live. I said, bro, it ain't nothing wrong with a fighter having your number. I said, I don't think any version of Prime Canelo beats any version of Floyd or Dimitri Bivol, and that's okay, bro. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's a lot. That's called life.
And that's what I'm
Most
saying. We
people,
act
most
like
people are
like he's
beatable.
human.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, I don't care. Pete Canelo, the Caleb Plant Canelo doesn't beat old Floyd. He just doesn't.
yeah.
Just stylistically, it don't make sense for Canelo to beat any version of Floyd. I'm sorry.
Canelo, his feet was too slow for him to ever beat Floyd. In order for a fighter to beat Floyd, you had to be one of the all-time greats yourself. Like you had to be Salvador Sanchez, Pernell Whitaker, Sugar Ray Robinson. You had to be an all-time. I'm talking about all-time, all-time. I'm not talking about one of the top 20 guys because Canelo he might go down to the top 20 all time. I'm talking about you got to be in like that top 5 type shit, Salvador Sanchez type shit, where you have a full understanding of boxing mentally, but your body allows you to use that understanding. Canelo's feet were way too slow his entire career. He was never, it's shit that Canelo might understand in the boxing ring, but he's incapable of doing because his feet are glued to the floor. So he was
Yeah.
never going to be able to reach the heights of a Floyd Mayweather, ever.
And Canelo's my favorite fighter of all time, bro. I'll tell you that right now.
Canelo a bad motherfucker. I like the way that he fight as well. He a cleaned up version of Rocky Marciano.
Yeah, he one of my favorites too.
Bro, somebody said Prime
He one
Crawford
of my
versus
favorites.
Prime Floyd.
Huh?
Somebody said Prime Crawford versus Prime Floyd. It shouldn't even be a conversation, in
That's a
my opinion.
bad mother. Yo, that's a bad motherfucking question, boy. Like now, when I say bad, I mean a good, like in
Well,
good.
I don't know. I might have Crawford winning this.
I can't
You
even
got Crawford
disrespect
winning this?
Floyd like that, man. I can't.
Might. I don't know,
This
man.
the
That's a
thing,
hard
man.
fight. Cause
Everybody, let me
Floyd.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. Floyd has been hurt, but Floyd has never been hurt by the caliber boxer of Terrence Crawford. Floyd will get hurt. Like Shane Mosley was a guy who was using steroids, got caught using steroids. Shane Mosley was a guy with bad stamina, and he was a guy who had great offense, but not great defense. Bud has very good defense, great offense, longer limbs. Bud's reach is longer than Floyd's. Usually Floyd has the reach advantage. Bud got fast feet too. You know what I mean? And Bud hits harder than Floyd. So it's like, and Bud is naturally a larger man than Floyd. That's like that Bud versus Floyd thing. That remind me of when I think of what happened between Floyd and Ray Robinson. This is the way I sum it up. If Floyd could deal with the power, he gonna beat him. If Floyd can't deal with the power, he gonna get knocked out.
I can see if people think Bud to beat Floyd, but out of sheer respect for what Floyd did for 2 decades, I gotta give it to Floyd, man.
I mean, but what has Bud been doing? He's been doing the same thing.
Not to the level Floyd's been doing
The
it, man. Don't
only
even do
difference
that.
when you look at what Bud did, right? Floyd went up a few more weight classes, but when you look at what Bud's been doing, Bud was doing it at 135, 140, 147, but Bud isn't charismatic. Bud don't know how to talk the same shit Floyd has done. And Bud don't have the connections. He didn't go through the certain same channels that Floyd went through. So when you look at Bud, they say, yeah, somebody said 2-time undisputed. Bud Crawford, skill wise and the work that he put in the ring, resume wise, he's been doing that Floyd Mayweather shit. But he doesn't have the same amount of champions, number one. And number two, he didn't have the charisma and the pay-per-view attraction with him. He had the pay-per-view stardom come along with it. But skill-wise, he's been doing it. And it's a lot of it's fighters like that in history where they could fight their ass off, but they just don't have that charisma like that. Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis, one of the best heavyweights of all time. But people gonna bring up Ali before they bring up Lennox Lewis.
Gennady Golovkin, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
What about Holyfield?
Triple G was great. He a great middleweight, bro. But I don't like when people be having them basic ass styles like that. Like, cause
Yeah.
if Triple G got in there with the right, look, he lost to Canelo and shit. If he get in there with the right guy, or the right all time fighter, he could lose. Plus, I feel like a guy like Roy Jones at middleweight with Dan Circles around dude like Triple G because his
Yeah.
style's so basic.
I mean, Triple G was all about taking your best shot and him landing his best shot, man.
Yeah, see, it's like I can't. I'm gonna give
Think
you your
about
credit.
that.
You a bad motherfucker for being able to do that, but I can't act like you know, a super fighter because it's like if you were to have met somebody with a certain skill set, you would have lost even in your prime because you can't be that. You have to be versatile in the ring. You can't be one dimensional like that.
That's how I kind of feel about Manny too, as well, though.
Yeah, bro. Manny remind me Manny like Ali, bro. Like they have some great ass victories, great comeback stories. They be getting beat around the ring sometimes. People act like the shit don't never happen. Everybody fuck with them. You know what I mean? They super athletic, but fundamentally they don't have the best fundamentals. And their offense is awing. Their offense is amazing. But Manny, he overrated. Like Ali, he overrated, super overrated. I could never put Manny in no top five. Not with no skill base like that, where you in the ring almost dying and shit. You know what I mean? Marquez sent that man to the gates. Nah, I can't put you in my top five.
I think Manny's career though, in totality, is crazy, but
Yeah,
skill wise, he's lacking.
Manny got an old school career. In the old school, they used to just have all these major fights, fighting real competition. You get knocked out, you come back, fight him again, fight 4 or 5 times. Manny has a early 1900s boxing career and shit. You know what I mean? 1930s and 40s type shit. You
Yeah,
don't have like a typical career that you would see from a guy nowadays where they just fight 25, 30 fights and retire.
yeah. What about
Yeah, man,
Terry Lewis?
Manny would always fight. Manny was like 7-time champ, was like 7-weight world champion, and he would never duck anyone. That's why like I always respect Manny because he wasn't
Yeah.
afraid. He wasn't afraid to fight anyone. He went up. He went up all the way to I'm pretty sure was it 154 or 160 against
154.
Margarito, and he beat his ass.
I fuck with Manny.
Absolutely beat.
And Margarito was overrated. Margarito was a guy that was cheating, putting concrete in his gloves. But Manny Pacquiao, at the end of the day, him, Roy Jones, um, who else? Antonio Margarito. But Margarito didn't take that juice. But Manny was a steroid user, in my opinion, and Roy Jones was a steroid user, in my opinion. So I put an asterisk over their name. I get them that credit for their performances, but it's like, bruh, you can't be jumping up in weight, not losing no speed, your power carrying up 7 different weight classes. Same thing with Roy
I,
Jones. Power don't work like that.
I love Roy Jones, but I feel like he was very overrated. I feel like he had like the problem that Canelo had. He was very, very flat-footed. It's just when in his prime, he was extremely fast. But the older he got, and once his reflexes and his time down, he started getting knocked out because he didn't have the feet and he didn't have the fundamentals. He just had great reflexes and was insanely fast. But when you get
I
older,
mean,
as you
Roy had
box, you're going to
fundamentals.
lose that.
Roy had fundamentals, but he had fundamentals based in athleticism, like Pacquiao. Like they had
Exactly.
moves where you have to be a certain speed to execute the move. But they still had a lot of
Exactly.
skill. It's just that they had skill that was based solely on
Like
speed as opposed to skill that's based on timing and reading your opponent and shit like that. So yeah, once they slowed down, it was a wrap.
I
But
think Roy might have the
speaking of
greatest
slowing
prime,
down,
bro.
hey Jerry Jig, I'm gonna let you go ahead and
exactly.
make your
Roy's
point.
prime.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and get down. Go ahead,
All right,
Jerry.
bro.
I feel like Roy's prime was absolutely incredible. Like he just never had a dance partner to show how great he truly was. Like the people at his time, like the best, like James Toney and Bernard Hopkins, he
Yeah.
destroyed the both of them. He never had anybody that could actually like give him a competitive
Because
fight
of the
until he was like
speed, right?
33, 34.
But I mean, hey, Roy was supposed to fight the G Man. They ain't fight. So
You
who
don't
knows? Who knows what
Montel Griffin or no?
Roy was supposed to fight the Hawk. He ain't fight him. So who knows? So it's not like Roy fought everybody that he was supposed to fight. But look, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. We had a great live. Jerry Jig, thanks for them gifts, bro. I appreciate that. And whenever I go live and y'all want to come on up, make sure y'all come up. The live replay will be available on YouTube if you want to hear some of the points we was talking about. And if you want to watch full fight breakdowns, make sure you support the Patreon. You can support for as little as $1 a month or whatever you can afford. Happy New Year to y'all. Y'all have a great day. Damn, I've been hitting this button.